Well, I'm not gonna make it through the meeting, I can tell you that.
Do what?
Mine won't make it through the meeting, 'cause I had to use it already for today.
I went through all the steps,
Oh.
those papers that you had.
Yeah. I told you what to do.
It's me right off.
Told you. You won't listen to me.
Here it doesn't exist, but everywhere else it was fine.
Wife says he never listens to me, to Jerry. I believe it.
Paul Slicker.
You know, mine don't wanna do nothing. Mine's trying to.
Okay.
That should do.
Yeah.
Let's try her on.
What's that?
So I left it in the box.
20 would be better.
Oh, the email isn't working for whatever
Go
reason.
to your,
Oh, we always had one each truck.
Yeah,
Okay.
the nice thing about.
Nice, nice, it's doing something.
Has
Been to that one or?
yeah, just
and
double
much
click
has
it.
most of our schools, yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
you know, I couldn't get my emails. Couldn't get them.
Okay, there we go.
It would not work, wouldn't work.
Oh, yeah?
So I bring it in, right?
Are you kidding me?
Bring it in. Yeah.
Hi.
What do we gotta do?
Oh, you need my,
Yep.
There you go.
Hold on.
The roll is called.
I want my
Keep
old
this thing.
password back. There's no turning back. It's unfortunate. There you go. All small letters. No caps.
Oh, what?
Still not.
Hey. Close that up.
Try restarting it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
I didn't forget.
Did you bring me yours too?
Huh?
Did you bring me yours too?
I kept mine in the truck. Yeah. Why, you want that one too?
Yeah, I need to borrow them for a meeting on Thursday.
Howdy.
For what time on Thursday?
7.
Yeah.
With the nail.
Early in the morning, 7.
Right.
That's a trailer.
It's in the truck tonight, I'll
Trailers
grab
for
it.
snowmobiles.
Is it in
They
your?
went
truck?
away from those
Yeah,
years
it's in
ago.
my truck
but my
outside.
neighbor
We'll
has
get it
one.
afterwards.
Bolts and stuff up. And he's like, oh, the thing got wedged or something. So I went to like go
There you go.
like pick it up and push it. Well, at the same time, he kicked it and went right on top of it. So
Oh, so.
it is what it is. I didn't think it was broken, but my
I don't
neighbor said it
have
was
to if
broken.
you
It's
don't
been about a
want
week and a half, but it's still.
No.
Yeah. Is what it is. What are you gonna do?
Oh, yeah, they might have been working here.
Mine, I do have one of those.
My snowmobile.
Yeah.
I gotta put the bar down because one of my arms is weak. So if I go up there and run too fast or something.
Jeez. It's just, yeah, they're crazy. I went to a ramp style. I went halves with somebody just to.
Oh, I guess, well, mine is has a ramp.
Yeah.
But do you have like a trailer then, or do you have like a two?
It's a 5
Oh, so it's a long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this one?
A certain percent of that.
Yeah, I just have two.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Yes, it's coming off.
Like
I-
a couple
we
of
talked
trips. I
about
was supposed to go this past weekend,
To Norm.
but I just didn't have the time. So
We're gonna
Iron County,
have to wear a pill.
all the way north. Yeah.
Can't go. We've been there the last 2 weeks. We're going this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I think you might have to wear it. No, yeah.
Very.
We're with all respect. Well, hey.
Yeah.
Go to the clinic.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you gotta have one. So what's the difference when you come here? It's a policy.
Yeah.
It's a policy, so. But we're gonna change. I have to go get my ears tested.
Oh no.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because everything probably broke.
Did it spray? You said the water broke?
Oh,
That's good.
very nice.
I know you're a short timer, but that doesn't mean you can break your tablet.
Yeah.
So she says, "Go get your ears cleaned
Right.
out by your doctor. Come back and see me again."
Give it to me.
Okay. So another trip to Oshkosh.
I want you to read.
I know, but I called a little friend of mine that I sang with at the barber shop.
Wife from me get it the other
Guy,
day.
he was just happy to come see me.
Computer literate. I don't know.
I'm asking.
That was worth it.
God, what
Oh,
happened?
you know.
Mike is-
Dang it, I forgot. Do you want me to bring that spanner up?
Can I
for-
report after the
for my-
thing?
Put it on.
Do
I'll
we
go
want
get
to
it.
Very important. It changed.
Or do you want stuff till next week? But that.
Library.
Well, and.
Good.
it's
Sounds like it's
Pretty warm. Larry was
Yeah.
a reflection on yours.
It's good.
Feel good.
Like, so like, skip and pause and what it did that.
Okay, I talked to her.
We'll take,
She was telling me why she.
this, yeah. we signed up.
I'm gonna tell Brian that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this under unfinished business. Okay,
What? He didn't solve it.
okay.
It's fixed, he says. Back it on the grill.
We're gonna put this up here. And do this first. Then we're gonna go to the spreader. I just talked to them. Huh? Yeah. Very. Of course. Annoyed.
Tear it all apart. I'm gonna toss this puppy in a minute.
Steady wins there.
Barry's coming to the rescue.
He fixed it before.
The other thing.
Thank you, Barry.
I don't have a cord for mine, so I can't charge it.
Is this one
Got two
working?
cords right here, buddy.
Is this one working? Okay.
No. I didn't think I could use it without charging.
Mine's not connected.
You lost it.
I get Barry.
Very.
He's taking over where I left off. How's Pat tonight? Okay, I did.
Mine's not.
Mine's actually working for a change.
Thanks, sir.
I can let
I
Terry.
don't know what I did. I don't know what I did, but it's working. About 10 people there, but it was good.
So
About 40 minutes and
Once we-
answered a lot of questions that some of those
Yeah,
people
by
had.
silence.
discuss the
First they don't do
COVID
it every
policies
time.
and policies,
So,
we'll entertain a motion to
Nope.
get rid of the mask.
Do you have an extra cord?
no, it's, went really well.
Kim, and I'll entertain a motion. The mask tonight, right now.
He's taking over where I left off, Barry.
I like the soccer team.
You gotta move out.
Brandon, you
I don't
need to
know
cut a
yet.
hole in your mask and.
No.
Yeah, right.
No.
I've seen like memes like that. It's kind of funny.
Good, thank you.
Take care of you later.
Okay, refresh my memory.
I think I did.
I'm going to-
Everything's accepted, I'm just waiting for. Everything's accepted, I'm just waiting for all the paperwork to go through now.
That's good. Somebody local buy it or?
Somebody local. Jesse Scooby? I don't know him.
Name sounds familiar. but-
Yeah.
Okay.
You can use it.
Go, Jerry. Don't look at it. Don't touch it.
They don't work on the touch screen if you, and then we can just pull this off.
Hey, might as well just throw that away, cause half the time it doesn't work. Laura smashed it a couple times.
We got cords down here if you need it.
Are you really?
Is it 11, is it 7?
Get through there, Barry.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Megan will do roll call. Oh, I have to do it on this one, don't I? Okay, roll call shows that everyone is here. We'll stand for silent prayer and pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we have to be sure and speak into our microphones tonight. Mary Kunash is at home. But she is monitoring the meeting, so please speak into your microphones. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Wato, second by Mr. Eckstein. Any questions or comments? Okay, I will tell you that we are going to move the discussion and possible motion action on COVID precautions and policies. We're going to move that into under unfinished business. So with that change, you're still okay with your motion, Bob?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the January 18th, 2022 monthly meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting? Motion by Mr. Eckstein, second by Mr. Waddell. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, next we'll go to public comments, and no one has signed up to speak. So we are going to go to unfinished business, and here we will have discussion and possible motion action item on COVID precautions and policies. Patty?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Most of you probably recall that back in the fall, I presented and asked to have the courthouse and the properties and vehicles all masked because of how bad COVID was going. It peaked in January. I'm sure that if you've been paying attention to the news, and I know a lot of us don't want to anymore because we're tired of this, it peaked in January, and that included around us. So in January, we probably had almost 20% of our staff affected in some way. Either they had it, their relatives had it, their kids had it. And so they were at home, working at home, not working, et cetera. First week in February, we had 62 cases in total, which was much better because frankly, we were getting 60 to 80 a day before that. And we had to switch our process for contacting people. So over this last week, because we are halfway through February, we did have a small outbreak in a nursing home. Well, it's a CBRF, but for us, it's a nursing home. But other than that, we've gotten 6 a day, 7 a day, and the schools are doing about 7 overall. So, it is looking good, guys. So even though the CDC and the state and everybody says it's still a good idea to wear masks, and I'm not telling you that it's not, in high-risk settings with high-risk people, EMS will not be taking them off, the jail will not be taking them off, UW Extension doesn't take them off. So there's still groups that are doing it, and you're always welcome to wear one. I am saying that today we could get rid of the mandate for the courthouse and the staff for right now. Might have to come back again, but let's just do it. And we'd start tomorrow.
Could we start tonight?
Melissa says yes.
Okay.
So we could. So you
Okay.
guys can take them off. And we'll get the word out tomorrow to the staff and everybody that they can take the signs down. And well, we should ask that.
We'll have a motion.
There we go.
We'll entertain a
I
motion.
will entertain a motion to remove the masks for the time being.
Okay, with motion by Waddell and a second by Kirschner. Any questions? All right, do you want us to vote on the machine or voice vote? All right, all in favor of unmasking?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Patty. We appreciate all you've done. It hasn't been easy, and we know that. Yeah, right. Okay, now we're going on down to new business and reports and presentations. County Administrator's Monthly Report. Ms. Pingle?
My first meeting without a mask. I did want to thank Patty and everyone else. I know that this has been really hard. None of us love wearing masks, and I think I'm not going to recognize some people going into work being like, "Who are you without a mask? Like, you look different, Rob."
Better or
So
worse?
She didn't know you had a mustache.
yeah, I didn't. So I do appreciate your support. Judge Dutcher also shared. He was in favor of, he wanted to stay consistent with us, and it's getting harder and harder, and I can't disagree. So, someone's gonna knock something over. So thank you for that. My question to you is, do you want this to come back if things get worse, do you want me saying, put the masks back on? Do you want it coming back to county board, or just go with it if it ends up going that way? And if we have to, we do a vote over maybe email or whatever. I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but is it something you want back monthly? Do you want reports, or just leave it unless something happens?
How about if we just leave it, but give Melissa the ability to say masking again if it gets really bad?
If it gets really bad.
Is everyone agreeable with that?
I think I prefer it coming to the county board.
Well, yeah, after, but I mean, if it's an emergency and she
We
can,
have plenty of ways to pull together, whether that's via Teams or whatever we're using here.
I'm completely fine with that.
okay.
Yep.
Very good.
We'll just monitor it. Patty will keep me informed, and if something happens, then, I think everyone will be happy. It sucks if we have to bring it back, but right now I think everyone could use a little breathing room, literally. So moving on from COVID, you'll notice some things changing in the courthouse. You might notice the mail room has been moved. We're moving staff around. We're kind of trying to get into our divisions. We know it's going to be about 2 years till we're in the new building. So if you get lost, just stop and someone will help you find what you're looking for. It'll be good. We're just trying to realize some efficiencies there. The staff is helping on retention. We're all trying to get to our files. The Historical Society has to come to look at some of our files. That we were down in the basement the other day, and we have records from 1853 from the tax rolls. So we don't really need to keep those anymore, but when it's that old, the Historical Society is interested, so they'll be coming on site. But we will be increasing our cost of how much things cost to shred. So we may end up having to let you know that, because our stuff most of it has to get shredded in a certain way or burned. And I don't think we're going to have a fire for our records. So shredding costs may be a little bit more. Mr. Jarvis and Donna and myself went to the WCA conference this year. And some of the major focus that they're working on is affordable housing, affordable childcare. EMS and fire has become a bigger and bigger problem with staffing. And Brian is down in Madison today. He was invited by the governor. They're doing some sort of announcement. So stay tuned on what that is. I think that the speech started at 7. And then of course, property taxes and what's supporting local governments. We have to keep doing more with less. So those were the things that were talked about. It was a really good conference, and thank you for sending me to that. Staffing is looking pretty good. We have several interviews scheduled for different positions. We still have some of the EMS positions out, and then a few other just normal ones. However, we did get a resignation today from Missy Zamzo, the clerk of courts. So she's leaving the county, and we just got that this afternoon. So I think she'll be here for about another month, but you'll have to say goodbye when you see her next. She's done a really nice job. And we're going to start looking at the committee structures, the county board committee structures, on how often they meet, and do we need all of them? Can we combine them? Do we need different ones? So if you have any issues with any of the county committees that you've been on, like, hey, those times don't work, or I really want to be on that committee, do you want them to let Megan know? So if you're like super interested in economic development, let us know, because that's one of the places where we would like some more people involved in that. ARPA funding, we're going to be bringing back a plan on where we're going to be spending the money, but we're not quite there yet. I don't have anything else to add on it. Does anyone have any questions on ARPA right now? And then the last thing I had was, we are almost done with all of the meetings for the second bid package for the building. So thank you all to who's been involved. And I think 50% of my time has been on building stuff. So it's been going well. The bid pack should be coming back at the end of March, correct? We'll be having our buildings and ground meeting then. And that's all I have.
So you don't have any questions for Melissa?
It's been really boring.
So, I don't know if it's a question, but we continue to get emails and letters about the pay thing. Just want to address it. I know that Ruth had sent out a letter and a couple of emails, just so it's on record and you can address it and why we decided to go that.
Would you want to speak to that? Do you have any questions on the letter?
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to make sure that the people who had sent letters or come up here and asked about it had the answers they need.
And I think from what I understand, and this was before I was here, the proposal that was given was for the active employees. That's how they created the amount. And that was what was at that time being paid out. So that was part of the plan that was approved, and it is going to be talked about on Thursday.
Any other questions for Melissa?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Next, we have the Highway Department Annual Report by Commissioner Brian Frymark.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I have all these little notes to go with this. First note says I need to change that picture after 4 years, so.
Brian, can you kind of straighten out that mic so that it's, there you go.
I'm aiming at.
Thank you.
There you go. So this just basically shows the levy limit versus the levy that we get from you guys versus the revenue that we've achieved. Levy's up a little bit from last year and the revenue is down a little bit. And part of the reason that the revenue is down is the TRIP program, local road improvement program, kind of runs, it's a biennial thing. It runs every other year. So there's always kind of a high spot and then it kind of drops off. So that's the difference. This basically just shows what we did last year. We're up on paving on the county side. We didn't do any seal coating last year because P was such a large job. We did quite a bit more paving. I've only been keeping track of this for the last couple of years. So we're up on paving from what we were the year before. And then we're down on seal coating again. You know, these tides run with the economy. So these are the townships that we maintain at this time. And a miles, it's the same as what we had last year. We did not gain any more. What that makes is 136 miles of county road or of state roads, 334 miles of county roads, and 367 miles of township roads that we maintain at this time. This number here is based off of our revenue. So we have to deal with DOT because we're contracted and we are contracted through DOT. So they have their own system, and how we make equipment, how we charge equipment out that rate is by how many pieces of equipment are out there throughout the whole state. So a dump truck is the same price no matter whether it's in Milwaukee County, Dane County, here, or Ashland County. These numbers are when the expense to have that fleet of vehicles and the price that you're charging the vehicles out at, when that revenue exceeds your expense, you can see it's pretty much continuously growing. I will tell you that 2019 is the last year that the state has actual numbers for, and we were number 3 on percentage wise, because there's a lot of counties that have bigger fleets than what we do, but percentage wise, we have been in the top 10% for probably the last 20 years. For 2019, we ended up 3rd. So that's just keeping equipment moving. So we go into local road improvement program. It's a every other year deal. This is about the same amount of money that we normally get for a regular CHIP program. It'll be spent out this year. It's going towards County Trunk Z. We also deal with a discretionary portion of that CHIP program, and that money is actually we only receive that money every 4 years. The last time we received it, we did some paving on C with it. Before that, we did F with it. This time, it's going to be County Road F. That money is $200,000 more than what we normally receive from the state. So they released a lot of money the last 2 bienniums, and the biggest one is this one here. So 2 years ago, or last biennium, they called it a MLS, Multimodal Transportation Supplemental Program. Now they call it LRIP-S. So townships, municipalities, villages have to go through a draw system on this. They make an application. There's a review of the projects, whether it's based off of whatever group it is at a state level. They decided to take the county and they used the counties and they just put them into districts. So our district is District 4. It goes up as far as Wood, Portage, Marathon, or Wood, Portage, yeah, Marathon's in it, Waushara, Adams, Marquette, Green Lake, and us. And what we did is we divvied out the money. This is part of that $100 million that the state legislature spent at the last biennium for the supplemental program. We got $436,000 of that. That money is going to go towards the bridge over to McCann on County Road J down in Dakota. That pipe, it currently is 15 feet in diameter. It's undersized and it is not considered a legal bridge because it's not 20 feet. So we are held 100% responsible to replace that bridge. Once this bridge is replaced, it will have a 50-foot deck on it because that pipe that's in there right now is way too small for the size of the river. So it's about $850 to build that new bridge. But once that bridge is built, it'll become a legal bridge. And then it's up for an 80-20 split on the local bridge program through the state of Wisconsin or through federal government. So we're using grant money to build a bridge to make it a legal bridge so we can continue using grant money instead of being 100% supported by county levy. That's probably the highlight of this whole thing. So this is some of the equipment that we purchased. That truck right there was phased out by Dodge County. That's a $175,000 truck. We paid 25 grand for it. And it's working just fine for us. The other biggest thing that we did, this is Pine Hill Road. Magdad's Dairy is just down around the corner here. This road was 18 feet, just so to make it everybody understand, the guardrail was 18 feet face to face. That is about 1.5 foot narrower than what that gravel is right there. And the banks went straight up and down. And we put in a bypass pipe and put this pipe in the ground. That pipe is 12 feet, 8 inches wide, and it's 7 foot tall. And it's 64 feet long. It's the largest pipe that I am aware of that Waushara County Highway Department has ever installed. So you can see that before we had straight up and down sidewalls. Now it's all sloped off nice. There's no reason to have guardrail up there anymore. The township that we did the work for, Saxville, is very, very satisfied with the job. As a matter of fact, we are working on 2 more to build for them. And we're in the process. So that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you have any questions for Brian?
I do. On county PP, when you redid it, you didn't put them rumble strips by the stop signs.
You're right.
Is there a reason why?
Yes, because MUTCD does not recognize rumble strips. So what we're doing, Jerry, is we went out there and we put post highlights up. We put in double stop ahead signs with post highlights on that on both ends. So them are the things that they tell us to do first. And then if it doesn't work, if it doesn't pay, then we'll go back to the rumble strips. But right now I was told there was 2 accidents up on P and 22. I'm only aware of 1, but I was told there was 2. But in the TOPS lab, which is where everybody reports their accidents, there's only 1 in there at this time. So we'll monitor it. We had the same issue on C and V. That got to a point that it was getting too bad, so we put them back in out there. But They work for a while and then you chip seal and then they don't work as good and then you chip seal and then they don't work as good and then you chip seal and then they don't work at all.
What's the cost of installation for something like that?
It's not bad because we throw it in with the router, how we route cracks when we're doing crack filling. So it's really not that bad. Maybe a couple grand. But MUTCD, the manual uniform traffic control devices, which is, all stop signs are 6-sided and red, stoplights are red, yellow and green. That rule book right there says, and that rule book's that long. It says that rumble strips are not to be used for that kind of, they're supposed to be used for lane deviation, but they're not supposed to be used for stops. But we will install them if we get too many accidents. And we're monitoring that. And them guys back in that corner will always remind me if there's a problem.
Okay, any other questions for Brian? Thank you very much, Brian. Good report. Okay, now we're going to continue on with discussion on possible motion action items. And we'll go to resolution number 030222, a resolution approving participation in Wisconsin statewide mutual aid compact for emergency management and authorizing county board chair to sign. Norm?
Yes, this is a mutual aid agreement when there's a natural disaster for us to request mutual aid from some of our counties. It's one of those things, we do have the right to refuse based on our needs here in the county, but it's in most cases, a lot of the natural disasters are regional. So if it's here locally, they wouldn't be drawing us out. But if someone else needs it, there's flooding, some of the stuff that happened back in 18 and 19 when the flooding, they can request assistance to do damage assessments or help with some of the logistics during a natural disaster. And it really works nice for counties like Waushara, where we do have one emergency manager. And if it goes for an extended period of time, we can request assistance here in Waushara County. The request is up to 72 hours. It can be extended upon mutual agreements. And they would cover any expenses, travel, meals, lodging, that type of thing. The cost of salaries would be from in this case, the owning county. So if I got called out, Waushara County still would be on my salary, but any expenses for the travel would be on the county assisting. So it really is it's a win for us and smaller counties that only have one emergency manager. So, and this is a statewide mutual aid agreement. They called for a lot of assistance up north a couple of years ago when they had the wind shears up in northern Wisconsin. So.
Thank you, Norm.
You're committed then? If they're like, hey, we need somebody.
We can always turn them down. We have the right of refusal, but it would behoove us especially if we're going to need it or expect it, to assist when needed.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Mr. Kirschner to approve, second by Mr. King. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next, we have ordinance number 670, an ordinance amending chapter 14, article 2, emergency management. Ruth, would you like to speak to that, please?
So as Norm was just talking, we only have one emergency management person at this time. And for years, informally, we've been having a backup. And so Norm would just let the sheriff's department know that he's going to be out of town or he's, unavailable. And then here's the backup person and you should do that. Melissa wanted to make this a more formalized process so that in case something happened when the backup was out, all of our insurances would be up to date and everything would be covered. It is a county employee, but it is not a new position. And it is only something that would potentially have costs if the backup got called out to some kind of incident when Norm was not there or not able to get there for a couple of days because of where he was located. The reason it's in an ordinance is because our emergency management is set forth in ordinance. And so in order to have the authority to appoint a backup formally, we just need to amend the ordinance.
Thank you, Ruth.
Yep.
I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 670. Motion by Mr. Lauer, second by Mr. Cap. Do you have any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Next, we have an appointment to the Land, Water, and Education Committee. Sarah Stelter is going to represent FSA for Watoma. The term will be February 2022 to April 2023. Motion by Mr. Jarvis, second by Mr. Waddle to approve, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. I think Land and Water is very lucky to have Sarah stepping in on that committee. So, all right, any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, we have board suggestions for future agenda items. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Eckstein makes that motion. Second by Mr. Lauer. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Meeting was way too short, Donna. Started adding some
I
stuff to
know,
this.
I know. Sit down, I can think of a few things.
Be
Careful what you ask.
Yeah.
7:30?
Hold on.
Remember all those 3-hour ones?
Yeah.
Sometime, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You gonna be there tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there.
They have been over-
We just one thing.
No, I don't really want to think
There's
about it.
just one tomorrow to go look at, isn't there? Morning?
There's two, but
Oh, is it two?
there's
I thought it was one, but maybe it's two.
I don't know. I haven't even listened.
Oh, whatever. If you can, great. If not,
I'll see at what time.
yeah. All right. Good.
Did you shut it down already?
Yeah, I did.
Larry,
Is-
Uh-oh.
how's it going?
Good.
Nobody will listen anyway.